everybody. I'm back today, of course, and this is a pretty good looking message here, and we'll take a look at it to see what it has to say. It says, "A prayer I love to answer. When Jacob ran away from his angry brother, Esau, he went to sleep on a stone pillow in a land that seemed empty and gloomy, but he dreamed about heaven and angels and promises of my presence. And when he awoke, he thought, surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it." Jacob's discovery was not only for himself, but for everyone who seeks me. I am everywhere. I am above you, below you, and all around you. There is no place that I am not. So if you find yourself feeling distant from me, say, surely the Lord is in this place. Then ask me to open the eyes of your heart so you can see my presence. This is a prayer I love to answer. Okay. Now, I like how this is the first one we've seen to, directly quote the Bible. Of course, there are little quotes here and there at places just to kind of help for a reference of what it's trying to say, or maybe like an inspiration for the information, you could say. But as always, God is everywhere, which is likely the reason some people perceive him more as an idea than a real thing. Of course, that's not what we believe, but if anything, we could see him both as an idea and as a real presence. And quite a few people really strongly emphasize the idea of God's presence being, everywhere. And it's the foundation of many different ideas about him, like this one, for instance. And of course, we can't actually see God. That's why it added quotations. But the interesting thing is how easy it is to misinterpret or misread the Bible, just if you're not looking at it from a symbolic perspective, which makes a pretty big difference when you really look at it. And overall, the addition from the Bible really adds on to what would be a rather short message. And I really like the inclusion of a quote from the book, "Surely the Lord must be in this place." And it really adds a lot just for such a small line. And just the experience of Jacob kind of brings an interesting subject in itself, which is, I suppose you could say, dreaming. It's likely he was actually asleep rather than just lying there with a waking vision. And I believe it was with a king too, where, the Bible mentions dream interpretation, things along those lines. And of course, I'm sure there are people who are skeptic about dream reading and the meanings of those as maybe an oracle, if any. Some people don't even think they have a meaning, even nowadays. But we don't have to count dream reading as an oracle. I mean, not only because it's just a natural, unconscious process instead of sorcery, but also because it kind of just outlines our situation for us, if they have any symbolic meaning at all, which at least some like this do. So that's not something we have to fear about. It's rare that people even have dreams about maybe a spiritual figure speaking to them, even nowadays. It would probably be more likely to be a symbolic representation or of what you think the figure would say or do. So you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt, anything relating to that. But nonetheless, symbols can still have a very interesting impact on the believer in particular, just being able to see God in most divine or beautiful things, assuming you're not a superstitious person. And I'm aware it's not even the focus of this entry, but I just thought it was kind of an interesting side note because dreaming's pretty amazing. It's probably one of my favorite things, even if people hardly know anything about it. But if you do think your dreams are surrounding God, speaking to you like they are in this, then it'd probably be something more direct, at least from the rare occurrences that I've heard. If it's a dire situation and it's not directly God, then maybe it could be something horrifying, try and show you the real danger of a certain path you may be following in life, anything like that. It's really hard to say. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.